Welcome to the first session of this week where we prepare for gather round. So Monday session and then a Wednesday session. Boys will fly to Adelaide on Wednesday. Thursday they'll have a session or open training in Adelaide. But this session was really light on players, mainly because the VFL happened yesterday. There were 16 AFL listed players playing in the VFL. They're managing obviously their minutes after playing a full game. So we only saw, I don't know, probably looked like about 25 players or so today, but it was still a good hit out. Today was mainly just a lot of fundamental work, a lot of stoppage work as well, and just sort of getting out of traffic. Just the bread and butter that Collingwood do best. A little bit later on in the video, you'll see that there was some match sim, and then right at the end, there was a lot of goal kicking because you know how bad our goal kicking has been. It was nice to see Harvey Harrison back out there doing some laps and doing some conditioning and rehab. We know that Craig McRae said that he did have a setback. We're not sure if we're going to see him this season at all, which is very disappointing because he was just absolutely smashing it. And, without Joe Richards and stuff, I thought he was going to be that guy that stood up. And then the ACL happens. But it's good to see that he's back out there. We don't know exactly what the setback was. They haven't released that. But he's back running. Hopefully we see him, but wouldn't keep my hopes up for that. Dan Houston, of course, was training with the boys. Just really disappointing what happened. I hope he did get a little bit of a talking to from flying the coaches because you've got to stamp that sort of stuff out of the game. I don't, we can go into it if we want to, but just disappointing. Especially, the Pies aren't challenging that. How can you really challenge it anyway? So he will miss the next two games against the grand final, Sydney and Brisbane. Coming up, you'll see that Ash Johnson was there watching training. He's in that moon boot after that bad injury that he sustained. So it was good to see that he was out there supporting the boys. So something I noticed as well when the players were splitting up into like forwards, midfielders, and backmen was that Perryman was predominantly, well, not predominantly, just training with the midfielders all day. So there were talks from some fans saying, "Oh, Perryman should go back to cover off Dan Houston." It looks like he is staying as a permanent midfielder, and like I've said to anyone who will listen, I've been saying it till the gals come home. I think he's a better midfielder than he is a backman. I can do some things at the back if we sort of need him to. But yeah, you see him there in the 12. He was predominantly training with the midfielders, and Bo McCreary was predominantly training with the midfielders as well. So don't be surprised if we sort of see him run through the midfield a little bit more, just to get him a little bit more into the game, because he has had a little bit of a down season so far. It was crazy. There wasn't really much to note with the match sim. There was a little bit of a change in sort of positioning and all that sort of stuff. But the boys, look, I don't want to, I only can look from what I'm seeing, right? They did look a little bit lackadaisical. See, with that kick with Jamie Elliott there was just a bunch of kicks not hitting targets and looked like they were just going through the motions. And when we said like Bobby Hill dropping that mark, and we've said, you play as well as you train. And this session, I don't know what it was, but this session just, especially in the match sim, just looked a little bit. They looked a little bit lethargic. Um, and not uninterested because they were very interested, but the kicks and stuff just weren't hitting targets, and it was getting, to me anyway, a little bit annoying. But here we go, right at the end, a bunch of goal kicking on both sides. So this was the forwards doing the goal kicking. On the other side of the oval was like the mids and the backs doing some goal kicking and defending and like ruck work and kicking goals from out of ruck taps and stuff like that. You can see Craig McRae here, showing Bo what he should be doing when he's kicking. But it was good to see that they kept doing this for maybe about 20 minutes, even after everyone started going in. Dan McStay and Bobby Hill, two of the guys that have been missing a lot, they were still practicing goal kicking. But that is pretty much it for this session. I'll see you guys Wednesday morning. There'll be another video up. I'll be going to gather round. I'm going to get to the open training if I can for there as well. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.